I had my last can of soda about 25 years ago, and that was a very hot day, and I realized that the stuff just kept me thirsty. And for a beverage that is steeped in sugar, loaded with sodium, and sometimes caffeine, it tasted like pancake syrup, and it was then that I knew I wanted something very different. Now, tea is typically my go-to, but years ago I did stumble onto something while looking through Pinterest that really truly rocked my world, and that is fermenting. So I started with a ginger bug. I expanded into tepache and drinking vinegars, both in the forms of shrubs and switchels. And then I just kept going. This then led to sauerkraut, fermented onions, homemade vinegars, beet kvass, and kefir. And I am looking so forward to expanding my knowledge of fermenting on every single level with further plans for fermented fruit preserves and kombucha, which is a fermented tea. My kitchen often looks like a science experiment, but it's so much fun and so very easy to do. Welcome to the Artful Homestead. My name is Laura, and it's Fermenting February. Now, there are a number of channels that really go in depth into fermentation, from how it's done, recipes, procedures, safety considerations, and all the science. And these are the channels that taught me how to do this. So please go and learn from them, because quite frankly, I can't improve on their work. So there are numerous links in the description for the things that you'll see here on the video, and they will go over the procedures on how to do all of this. But what I want to give you is both a primer and a whole lot of eye candy. And let's talk about all the reasons why you need this in your lifestyle. And it all started with me looking for a soda substitute and a recipe for tepache. And here's the recipe that in my mind never disappoints. It is called tepache. This is typically done with the outside of the pineapple, but my preference tends to be for using the inside of the fruit. It's a guarantee to get a very healthy ferment when using cut pineapple from the store. I fill this with ginger, cinnamon, cloves, allspice, and you can even add a hot chili if you desire. Here is this bubbly, wonderful ferment. Now, I like to bottle this for a later date. These glass bottles with the secure top will keep your ferment from exploding, which can happen if containers with standard lids aren't burped regularly. This is a ferment lid. It can come in very handy, but it's not necessary. Kids love this stuff. It's great for their little tummies, and it just tastes so fantastic. Here's my new experiment of the day, and it's beet kvass. Now, this one is made with sugar because there is a version made with a salt brine. I've tried the brine fermented beets, and well, I think it's kind of disgusting, but the sweet and sour sugar ferment is actually very good, and this one again is flavored with orange. Kvass can mean just about any ferment made with fruit, though these popular European ferments are often made with stale rye bread, and well, that's probably going to be a totally different video someday. But this orange beet kvass is so tasty, I'm definitely making this again. But I'm going to let this particular ferment go to vinegar because I also think that this will make a fantastic base for a salad dressing. Vinegars and drinking vinegars, which are also known as shrubs and switchels, are kind of the same thing. Making your own vinegar is simply a matter of feeding a ferment and then letting it go until it reaches the proper level of acidity, while a drinking vinegar is steeping fruit in apple cider vinegar for a few months and then mixing it with a tablespoon of that with your favorite sparkling water and a sweetener. I think these are great, and they have seen a bit of a comeback in the last few years. Now, these are not necessarily for the faint of heart, but you should try them at least once in your life. They are quite simple to make. Cafir is made from kefir grains, and these are cultured in milk. Now this ends up tasting like a less sour version of yogurt, and then you can mix it with fruit to get that second ferment, and the probiotics in this is just incredible. There's so much benefit to this particular ferment, it's far too much to go into the science of it here. But kefir makes great smoothies and can be added to baked goods for that buttermilk taste. Leftover whey can be used to ferment all kinds of other things as well. It seems to me that the versatility of this ferment is literally off the charts. In this video, I wasn't able to cover the ferment known as kombucha. Well, simply because I haven't gotten that far in my experimentation. It's definitely next on my list of things to do, but quite frankly, I simply have not been able to get out of my sauerkraut phase. So for all the health benefits you would ever want from a ferment, from the probiotics to the prebiotics to loads of vitamin C, nothing in the world beats sauerkraut. And if you're going to stand there and tell me you don't like it, then maybe you haven't had the right flavor. Keep watching. If you're buying sauerkraut in a can, you need to stop doing that. This isn't your grandmother's sauerkraut. Making it at home is extremely easy, and since there are so many flavors, you are now only limited by your imagination, and so there's really no reason not to take the time to experiment and find a flavor that you do love, and then you get all the benefits of having this superfood that is easily made at home. Orange and pineapple with sesame and ginger. This flavor will absolutely knock your socks off because it just doesn't seem like these things should go together, but it's pretty awesome. The flavor that you see here is blackcurrant apple made with red cabbage. Now, I've had this before and it is amazing. It uses fennel as a seed and not caraway. And this new flavor I'm trying out, kiwi lemon with cardamom. Now I think the kiwi and the cardamom is going to give the kraut a floral note, while the lemon is just going to be that over the moon addition. So follow me on Instagram where I will publish how this turned out. These new batches will take about 3 weeks to mature, and they will last in the fridge for up to 4 months. I would love to know if you're willing to give this a shot, because I should think that you'd find one that you'll love and you'll have quite regularly. So many flavors and so good for you. Then I have my favorite, fermented onions. These will ferment in a simple salt brine, 2.5% just like sauerkraut, and paired with peppercorns and rosemary. They are good on everything, literally everything except of course cake and cookies. I love them with eggs in the morning, on top of burgers, with a toasted cheese sandwich, on a Sunday roast. The options are simply endless, and I am never without these in my refrigerator. And here's my honorable mention, that is limes. Now limes, they just don't last in the refrigerator. If you're lucky, about a week or two, whereas lemons are happy to sit around for quite a while. So my answer is to ferment them in a salt brine. What this does is preserve the limes for up to 6 months, and it softens the rind as well as mellowing out the flavor. Yes, you can actually eat these straight. They are great to have on hand when you've made a big pot of curried Thai soup. And you can ferment any citrus fruit in this manner. Fermenting is a great thing to add to your diet. There's fiber in the fruits and vegetables. It creates both probiotics and prebiotics. It also increases the availability of vitamins and minerals, and it's a great way to preserve produce for months on end. Eating fermented food adds to the viability of the microbiome in the gut, and when that's healthy, so is your immune system. So if you've made it this far, thank you for stopping by, and let me know about the sauerkraut. You willing to try another flavor? It's well worth the effort if you're only doing one jar. I'm just saying. So give a like and a subscribe, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye.